For a few tantalizing weeks, it's plainly visible from planet Earth.
But I don't know if we have anything too batty, but let's move on. Let's see what we got next.
Yeah, well, so we got an armed man threatened employees and guests at the Rain Rock Casino, not hotel, in Yreka last week after posting a rambling conspiracy-laden manifesto about mind control, body snatching, and staged mass shootings by government sleeper agents. Officers arrested the man in question, who is now undergoing behavioral health treatment.
Okay, my favorite part about this is that this guy took a gun into a casino because he was upset about staged mass shooting.
Here's the thing about this guy. I have not met him.
Yeah.
99% chance he was having a mental health crisis and was just completely out of his coconut.
I definitely think that's the case. And frankly, I think that's the case even with a lot of people who do end up shooting things up.
Yeah.
You know, that if so just the other day I saw on Facebook, of course I'll leave names out of it, that one of my friend's kids was just arrested for trying to carjack people with an air pistol that looks like a real gun, and the cops ended up arresting him. And reading through the Facebook messages, there's some compassionate ones in there, but only the people who knew him. And I thought that was, my wife put it pretty well, and these are the same people that when it happens to them, they're going to wonder where all the compassion is.
Right.
But I knew about this happening in Yreka because my wife and I drove down there that day. We went to the casino. My wife we go to the casino pretty often. My wife likes to drink and gamble, frankly.
Sure. Don't we all?
I mean, that's why I keep her, But so we pull up there and we see some cop lights up ahead and a line of cars, and we end up stopping, and some big truck things driving by. It's funny because my wife's having to talk out the window, like looking up from our Kia Soul, which is already higher than most cars, but she's like talking up a whole nother car level to this big truck. She has to relay the conversation to me because I can't hear it over the fumes. But I don't mean to be making fun of this guy. It was really nice of him to share this, but I had to get it secondhand. And he basically said that it was shut down because within the last hour, this situation had gone on.
Right.
And we drive down to some bar, and we're sitting there, and somebody gives us basically the backstory of what happened, and that's what you just shared with us. But that day, my wife said she's just all, I'm going to look real good today, and she's all, I'm going to put on eyeliner and actually do my makeup and like shave my armpits, and I'm just all like, ooh, things are getting wild. And we get down there, and I turn to her, and I'm just all, thank God you put on your eyeliner today. Or, if you had to spend an extra hour getting ready, we would have been standing in that casino.
Right. Yeah. And no one got hurt.
Nobody got hurt. Yes.
That would have still been really terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I had a shotgun, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely terrifying. I don't know how many people knew what was going on in there. I just
right. I'm sure it's a big place, but
what are we doing wrong here? And I don't want to hear about guns. I understand that guns maybe are part of the problem because they're available, but guns aren't what's causing people to use the guns more often in these situations.
Yeah. Well,
you have a manifesto, Kara, that you're not telling me about?
I don't have a manifesto. I could probably. I'm doing the last minute on the manifesto.
I could whip it out in a week, so it's like
I could whip it out in an hour, Chauncey.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
I already got it lined out, but
yeah, exactly. No, well, so mental health treatment is hard, right? And I think that is one of the reasons a lot of people want to take issues like this and be like, this is about mental health. Because ultimately, the issue with mental health is that a lot of mental illnesses are just not all that treatable. You know? If you've got
at this point.
Right. If you've got hardcore schizophrenia, there's a good chance that'll, some combination of like drugs and therapy will basically get your brain chemistry working properly and get you participating in society. And it's way better than it was, 20, 30, 40 years ago. But there's also a reasonably good chance that like none of the drugs are really going to do it for you. And that's not just true of schizophrenia, which I think this guy probably was dealing with something like that. Like he thought people were poisoning him in restaurants. He thought people were listening to his conversation. It's classic, like paranoid stuff. But, people also do stuff like this because of just extreme depression or extreme anxiety that causes their lives to fall apart. People do this stuff when they hit rock bottom, and those are super common illnesses. And also a lot of times not really that treatable. If you've got treatment resistant depression, it's kind of like, well, you're never really going to feel happy again, so like chew on that.
Right.
And you can work on it, you can make it better, but it still really, really sucks. So it is not at this juncture something we can really fix. So
now, you used a term there I haven't heard before: treatment-resistant depression.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the medical term, but I think it is. I think that's a term they use basically for when.
Okay, well then let's be clear. I'm just working with the concept. We're not trying to push a term, but the concept.
Right.
Is the concept possibly the problem?
Sure.
So, a lot of people who we live in this world that I believe should be funding a lot more mental health help. Mental health is not a family problem. It's a societal problem. If my next door neighbor is an old lady trying to raise her son who's in his 50s, who has violent schizophrenia, that is my problem too. She is not going to protect me. She's not going to protect him. There's a lot of problems there. It's a societal problem.